Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff here again, looking at some new things that just actually came in the mail. Just came in the mail, and I got two things from two different companies on the same day. And so let's get into this. I just received the new 10th anniversary, first time on vinyl release of Love and Death Between Here and Lost. This is the 2013 first album by Love and Death. If you're not familiar with Love and Death, it's Brian Welch, guitar player from Korn, doing his stuff with this band Love and Death. So the like I say, it's the 10th year. It came out in 2013, and it was released as a CD and a deluxe CD. And I have it digitally, but I never have owned the physical product until now. So let's see here. I bought the black vinyl. It came on two different colors. I think I saved a few dollars and just went black. And so, if you're not familiar with him, the script describing the sound is, it's modern hard rock, borderline metal. Time just got some, to me, kind of an industrial feel at times, at least more so on the second. But let me show you this first. Hold on. I also got the CD, came with a combo package. The CD comes in a slip case with the cover here, and it also comes with one of those cards that these releases have been coming with recently. So this joins the collection alongside of, I already had the second Love and Death album. This is the 2021 Perfectly Preserved 2021. So this is 2013, and then wow, quite a few years there. 2021 release this, and like the CD, this comes in a slipcover. Such a weird packaging, having a slipcover in there like that. But I won't drag all this out, but it's got all kinds of cool artwork that looks like that kind of booklet type format. This is on a gold vinyl, and this one I've been a little more familiar with only because I've listened to it. I really dug this, and this one definitely has that, I want to say industrial feel. It's just kind of got, lots of, it's really hard to describe. I'm sure there's a description out there, but because it's not something I have a lot of, I don't know exactly how they would describe it. And then this all joins the first Head album, which I guess this is more of a solo project. Kind of goes along with this book, Save Me From Myself. This is 2008, and he released this, and then 5 years later comes back with Love and Death, and has done two albums with them since. So glad to have those. That basically completes the collection at this point for that stuff. And then the other thing that came in is Out of the Darkness by Bloodgood. This was released in the 80s on vinyl, but I think only overseas. And so it's really expensive to get a copy these days, because if you find it, it's going to be most likely overseas, or somebody in America that is going to sell it for quite a bit. This is a limited run vinyl, Retroactive Records. So it's really first time in America on vinyl for an American band. I don't know. I've never had it on vinyl. It's always been a CD. This is their 1989, I believe. I want to say. For me, there's four main Bloodgood albums, in my opinion, that all kind of go together, and this would be the last of that four. They all kind of fit. So this joins the reissues of the first couple, but not the third one. We've got a reissue of their original demo on vinyl and CD for the first time. This was on Girder Records. So we have that, and then we had a reissue of their first album. This is on Girder Records. This is joins my original press of that. You can see it's really been upgraded graphic-wise. That joins that, and then we have the reissue of Detonation, also on Girder Records, which joins the OG pressing of the original album there too. But then when we get to Rockin' a Hard Place we don't have a reissue of this, but this was on vinyl in America and everything. So this is an OG. I've had it for years. So I'm glad they kind of jumped to the Out of the Darkness, just because that's the only one I didn't really have on vinyl that was at some point available on vinyl, aside from the live albums, which again were released only overseas. And so I'm sure they're going to circle back to this one at some point, because they just reissued the CD again of that one, another remastered edition of that. And then of course we got their latest album. This is kind of a reunion album, many decades later. Got Oz Fox the Striper on there, so that joins that whole Striper collection. Now Rockin' a Hard Place, I'm sure, is probably in the works. And then after this would have been, and see, Rockin' a Hard Place is the prior album to this, which would be part of that 4 records that I think are really the key 4 albums. Then the album that came after this, it was a pretty, I don't want to say drastic change. Musically was a change. And to me, it's on its own. It's a great album, but the first 4 albums, they're really, they really connect to each other. And then that last album was a little different. And I'm hoping that's never, as far as I know, has never been on vinyl. So that'd be nice to have. There are 2 live albums, which are basically one concert released as 2 albums. It came out as a VHS. There has been a DVD release of that finally over a few years ago. And there have been vinyl issues of that overseas. I'm hoping that those are going to be on the block for making. And then there was a Live in Germany album that came out as a CD only years later, after those other live albums. So hopefully we'll see all of those, and we'll get a complete and final discography of Bloodgood. We know Michael Bloodgood, the core lead of the band, passed away a couple years ago. And so anyway, Les Carlson, the vocalist, has done a solo album since then, so he's continuing to make music. We know Oz Fox, who's in the band the last couple years, he's still going strong with Striper. But this is the heyday, and this is a great album. I love this album. It's one of my favorites, and I'm glad to finally have that. And it was reissued. They have done vinyl, CD, everything on that. So that's it for this one, though. Just a couple new things, and go out and grab those, because they are limited run vinyl there, and they will be gone before you know them. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.